Along the shores of Lake Michigan in the heartland of America, two truly international superstars have come to try to claim a title at the second stop on the WPBA Classic 9-Ball Tour. The Irish invader Karen Corr, former U.S. Open and national champion and WPBA Player of the Year. Jasmine Ocean of Austria, who rocketed to stardom in the U.S. with a major victory at the 2006 BCA Open 9-Ball Championships. A tremendous semifinal matchup between two of the game's great champions as the WPBA Classic Tour winds up a blue chip week in Michigan City, Indiana. The excitement level is high here in Michigan City. It's semifinal action at the WPBA Great Lakes Classic, presented by the American Pool Players Association. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Michigan City. Mitch Lawrence alongside Dawn Hopkins. Dawn, semifinal action, but two heavyweights ready to do some battle.
Yeah, Mitch, who would have thought that Karen Corr, one of our most consistent players, wouldn't have a win from last year or this year? So I know this event is important to her. Jasmine, on the other hand, has a win last year, and this year is looking really good in this tournament especially.
Karen Corr on the left, Jasmine Ocean on the right. And there you see them. I said true superstars, and they are. Karen Corr, originally from Ballymoney in Northern Ireland. Jasmine Ocean from Klagenfurt in Austria. And here's the lag for the opening break. Karen, a much better week here at the Great Lakes Classic. 5 out of 6 lags won. This one looks close, Dawn.
Don't do that.
Here's a look at our road to the finals. And look at those quarterfinal matchups. If you don't think our 4 semifinalists deserve to be here, some of the great names knocked out in the quarters. The winner of this semifinal match will meet the winner of the Kelly Fisher Chowting Pan semifinal. One of these 4 players will be your champion here in Michigan City. First up, Jasmine Ocean, a powerful, athletic break, Dawn, and here we go. You could hear by the sound of it that it was solid. Nothing on the break fell.
Nothing fell, but Karen doesn't have a shot here on the 1. You see the 7 is right here in the way. There's the 1 and the 2. The 7 is right in the way for the 1 ball, so Karen's probably going to have to push.
Karen Corr ranked 12th coming into this event based on the statistics from the first tour event in San Diego. Jasmine Ocean ranked 20th. Those rankings will definitely change after the Great Lakes Classic, WPBA Tour, updating the rankings with every event.
Here there's a shot on the 1 into the corner, but there's not really a way for her to get positioned back on the 2 ball. So she's going to play a safety here, Mitch. Well, that was pretty good. See, there's some blocker balls here, the 3 and the 4. She could push the 1 behind those and leave the cue ball right there, if she can see the 1 directly. Now Karen has to masse a little, and that's pretty much what she tried to do, but because she had to masse around that 5, it made it more difficult.
Jasmine Ocean back to the table. We'll quickly give you the rules of the game. It's a race to 7 to get to the finals. 30-second shot clock with 1 extension per rack. They will alternate the break, and it's foul on all balls. And another safety by Jasmine, but not what she wanted for sure.
No, the ball speed here, she's having a little trouble here with the ball speed and shot it just a little too hard. So Karen's got a shot on the 1.
Not what she wanted on the 2.
Now, I think she was trying to come on the other side of the 2 and just ran into the 2 ball. So now we're going to see another safety. There's those 2 balls again. She may bank the 2 ball around and just bring the cue ball back, or she could thin the 2 ball, which is what I think she's going to do here. Yeah, that was a really nice speed there. So now she's got a couple of ways to kick at this ball. She could kick one rail behind it, behind those two balls, or she could come 2 rails back into the 2 ball.
And an interesting note here as Jasmine gets ready to try to get to this 2. You see there the beautiful limited edition Zanzibar table by Brunswick Billiards. It is spectacular. And it is also the first time these players are seeing this table. They've played on Gold Crowns by Brunswick all week. So it's a little bit of an adjustment there, too, as if there isn't enough going on, Dawn.
Right.
What a magnificent table this is. We'll talk about it as we go through the match. Jasmine, concerned look on her face early here in rack number 1 in Michigan City.
It was a nice shot, a little tough to get position on the 4. So now she's out of position slightly. She could play the 4 in the corner down to your lower left, or she could cut it in or play a safety, but I mean, I think she's going to cut it in there. That was really nice shot. Uh-oh. Well, she's looking at playing that 5 into the corner. Position here will come out of the rails for the 6 ball.
Beautiful stroke there, a good look at it. Karen feeling good coming into this event. Mentioned earlier that both of these players, as a matter of fact, all 4 of our semifinalists playing in some key events in Asia before coming here to Michigan City. Karen did incredibly well over there. She didn't win, but she felt really good about the work that she did in Shanghai and China. Certainly at the China Women's Open, finishing 2nd. Wants to close out this opening rack against Jasmine Ocean. Remember, it's a race to 7 to get to the finals.
Oh, Mitch.
Ho, 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 ho. Talked about the speed early, Dawn.
Yeah, they're really having a little bit of trouble here in the first game with the speed, so I don't know. This is tough, Mitch. She may have to try to bank this ball, run into the 9 ball to get a shot. Wow, that has to hurt, Mitch, to be at the table with those open shots. She made a lot of great shots to get here, and then to fall short on making the 8 ball. She just didn't quite cut it enough. So Jasmine has a really easy layout here for this win, this first game.
And she will take it. I guarantee you, sitting in that chair, she was not sure she'd have a chance to take this 9. And pocket it she does. 23-year-old Jasmine Ocean from Austria first on the board. Karen Kor seated. One of these 2 players will move to the finals of the WPBA Great Lakes Classic here in Indiana. Stick around.
This presentation of the WPBA Great Lakes Classic is brought to you by Blue Chip Casino Hotel. It's good to be connected. By the American Pool Players Association, the world's largest pool league. And by Brunswick Billiards. Since 1845, the standard of superior craftsmanship preferred by experts around the world.
Welcome back to the shores of Lake Michigan, the beautiful Blue Chip Casino here in Michigan City, Indiana, close to Chicago. A lot going on here in the Midwest. Semifinal action. Karen Kor, Jasmine Ocean just getting started. Jasmine up 1-0, race to 7 to see who will meet the winner of our other semifinal. Here's Jasmine's week, and a very strong one it was. The key matchup, Pam Cimarelli, 9-8. Jasmine was down 4-8 in a race to 9 in that one. Pam missed a combination on the 9. And Jasmine went on to beat Ga Young Kim in the next match, 9-3 to get to this point. You saw Karen. An amazing record since she came to the States in 1999. Let's see how she does with her first break. Coming into this match, she won games on her break 67% of the time. And once again, nothing on the break. Neither player opening with solid breaks, though.
Right, this is not going to help her percentages on that break. Here's the 1 ball, and the 6 is there as the 2's down the other end. The 6 is there if she wants to bank the 1 and use that as like a safety ball to hide behind if she misses the bank. Well, she opted to play a safety. Got a little bit lucky, but I think Karen can see a piece of that 1 ball. See where the balls are all together here, but I believe that she could sneak by the 7 and see a piece of the 1. Not enough to make it. What a nice shot. That, oh, look at the window she left, though. That would have been a beautiful shot, Mitch. Just left a slight window so that Jasmine can make the ball direct.
So speed on the table early, something that Karen has to deal with in the opening rack. Speed control an issue and not taking that rack. Here's another look at Jasmine's shot on the 1.
That was a perfect speed shot, Mitch. I mean, from the distance that she shot it to draw it back in perfect speed. She's got a nice angle here. Well, a little bit too much of an angle, actually. She could cut this ball in. The 4 is up behind the 8 ball. Now, Mitch, Jasmine is out of line, so now I see her playing a safety here. The 8 ball's big, so if she could just bump the 4 to the rail, stick the cue ball behind the 8 ball. There's no reason to try to make this 4 on the side because the 5 is all the way down the other end of the table.
Perfect. Take another look at this safety. Jasmine and her coach, Michael Newman, have been together since Jasmine was 7 years old in Austria. This is a formidable team of player and coach. We'll talk more about that as we go along. Karen with her work cut out for her now, trying to get over and make a play on the 4. Does not get it.
Karen just doesn't seem to be feeling the table very good right now. She's beginning slow. I mean, she just missed the 4 ball.
We'll see if Jasmine can clean up.
You know, here it is just staying in line, Mitch. She's going to draw the cue ball or follow the cue ball over to the rail for the 6 up in the upper corner. She's got a straight on shot here. Jasmine knows the table is wide open now, so you can see her moving around with a little bit more confidence.
I mentioned Michael Newman, the trips to Asia that all these players have just taken. Jasmine had a really strong time in Asia herself. And of the 4 players in the semis, Karen, Kaur, Kelly Fisher, and Xiao Pan, certainly Dawn, I think everybody agrees that Jasmine may be the most well-trained and physically prepared athlete in the game in terms of being able to travel and play at top level.
Right, because Mitch, they're like on a totally, if it's 12 o'clock here, it might be, if it's 12 noon here, it's going to be 12 in the morning there, so it's a big time change.
And certainly showing in this rack that she's prepared. A beautiful safety leading to this 9. And a 2-0 lead now for Jasmine Ocean. Watches that cue ball stop. Happy where she is right now. A lot more action coming your way from Michigan City. For now, Jasmine Ocean up 2-0.
Leads 2-0. She'll have the break in game 3.
Welcome back to Michigan
Race to
City.
7.
Jasmine Ocean with an early lead, 2-0 over Karen Kaur. Race to 7 to get to the finals. And as we prepare for Rack 3, you see Karen's week here in Indiana. A third-round loss in the WPBA Classic Tour format sent her over to the loser's side. She beat Helena Tornfeld, former U.S. Open champion, and Miyuki Sakai, who had a tremendous week with a 9th place finish, and doing great work to get back to this semifinal matchup against Jasmine Ocean. Karen with a huge victory over Yuram Cha, 9-6.
Look at this, Mitch.
In the quarterfinals. And wow, exclamation point for Jasmine. How do you like it? 9 on the snap.
Wow, you don't see that often, Mitch, but watch this. The 7 ball just clips the 9 and pockets that 9 ball right in the corner.
And as we take another look, 9 on the break. Jasmine didn't have one of them all week here in at the Great Lakes Classic. But what a way to get to 3-0 quickly. Break important? You bet. Let's look at the 2 breaks right now, Dawn.
Yeah, they have similar styles, but if you watch, there's a couple of differences. Karen's back foot, if you notice, comes up off the floor where Jasmine's is planted pretty solid. And then when they follow through, Jasmine really jumps right up off of the ground. You'll see her lifting right into the air where Karen stays implanted. So very similar where they both come up, but just slight differences.
As we look at the beautiful Zanzibar table and the brass monkeys supporting the pockets, the APA, the American Pool Players Association, held its National Singles Championships recently at the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas. Big prize payout. Let's learn more about it.
I never thought I'd be here, much less get it this far.
You know, all the hard work finally, after all the teams that have been playing on everything, it's finally paid off, you know.
It was just one step at a time, one ball, and focus.
I just tried my best, played my best, and I'm real excited.
You're going home with cash and prizes.
I think my wife's more happy about it than I am.
I didn't really care so much about the money. I just wanted to be a champion.
I actually got married on Thursday, so it's more my wife's money. I get to maybe buy a video game.
Money usually doesn't come out of Vegas, and it is this time.
I hope to be back and win one every year.
Had a great time at the Riviera. I'm going to be here for 3 nights, and we're going down to the Strip tonight, so it should be fun.
Yeah, I might get an extended flight, go out and party.
That flight home is going to be early in the morning, but I don't think we're going to sleep tonight.
Certainly tons of excitement out in Las Vegas at the APA National Singles Championships, and of course excitement here in Michigan City, Indiana. Mitch Lawrence and Dawn Hopkins watching Karen Kaur try to get on the board, down 3-0 in a race to 7 to Jasmine Ocean, and that is not what she wanted, Dawn.
No, you know, she moved the cue ball on the head string to change her break because she didn't make anything before. But the cue ball just went directly into the pocket, and that's a mistake on her part. So that gives Jasmine ball in hand. There's the 1, the 2 ball, but they're it's tied up with this 3 here. I don't know if the 3 can go in a pocket or not. It doesn't really look like it can. So she's going to have to use the 2 to break it out, possibly.
Takes her extension. Interesting statistic from the week here in Michigan City. In an earlier loss this week to Jasmine Ocean, Karen Kaur had her only 2 scratches on the break, also against Jasmine Ocean. Against no other opponent did she scratch, and here she is in rack 4 of semifinal action, scratching again.
She's going to draw the cue ball back, and again, try to get a little angle on this too so that she can break that out. I don't think she's got it, Mitch. I think she's going to be dead straight here. So now she's looking at the side pockets to see if there's any way to make the 3 into a side pocket. And if not, she's going to have to play a safety.
Not quite.
Nope. So now we're definitely going to see a safety here. She's only got a piece of the 3. She can't even see the 3 direct. So the 4 and the 6 are down the table. She could just thin the 3 ball and try to leave the cue ball at the other end of the table, maybe behind that 4 and 6. And did she get it?
I don't know, crowd applauding. Key part of this match for Karen Corr, no question about it. In a race to 7, she's already in a hole right now at 3-0.
No, she cannot see that 3 direct, so she's going to masse, just hit a little bit of high left-hand English, and what that does is it puts a little spin.
Look at that.
What?
Look at that.
Wow.
A little bit of a wry smile from the Irish invader there. Beautiful work.
That is a great shot, Mitch. She just curves. You can see the curve around the ball, and the cue ball still spinning from the English that she's put on that to make it curve around. You don't want to hit that shot really hard, because the lighter you hit it, the more spin it will pick up.
Critical now that she finished this rack after that great shot on the 4. We have come to be so used to seeing that expression on Karen's face over the years. It has been a treat to follow the career of this great player. 2001 Player of the Year on the WPBA Classic Tour year. She won every tour event. And Dawn, as a player, you know how incredibly difficult that is to do.
That is, it just shows what a great player Karen is. Karen actually knows a lot of different games. She plays a little bit of one pocket. So I think some of the different games that she has played has helped her in her 9-ball game to learn how to go around balls.
Started playing snooker in Ireland. Actually, she had moved to England at the time when she was 14. Both of these players know a tremendous amount about the game, different games. The only thing on her mind, that 9-ball right there. Finally onto the board is the Irish invader, Karen Corr, still trailing Jasmine Ocean by 2 racks. One of these 2 will get to the finals here in Michigan City. Welcome back to the beautiful Blue Chip Hotel and Casino in Michigan City, Indiana. Semifinal action at the WPBA Great Lakes Classic. And as we move into rack number 7, we're going to show you how we got here. First highlights from rack 5, Dawn.
Yeah, Jasmine broke, and she made 2 balls, and the rack looked pretty good for her, but when she got to the 4 ball, she tried to slow roll it and overcut, making the 4 ball hang in the pocket. So then Karen went on to run. This was a pretty simple layout right here after that. She won that game.
And that got her to within 1, moving to rack 6, and Karen with the break.
Karen makes a ball here, tries to jump this 2 ball and doesn't make it, but watch this jump shot for Jasmine. Now that's the difference right there, to be able to come with the shot that you need to when you need to.
And followed it up with a beautiful cut on the 3 and shape on the 4, leading to this 9 in the end of rack number 6. So just when Karen got a little bit close within a rack, Jasmine back to 2 racks up. Let's learn a little more about Jasmine Ocean as we go behind the cue.
Well, I mean, I started my career pretty early. I've been playing for 17 years now. And one of the biggest ones was probably the BCA Open that I won in 2006 in Vegas when I played Allison in the final. That was a great match. The special thing about it was I was pretty much new on the tour. I mean, they didn't really know me. I just had like 2 tournaments before that, and I had a really tough draw because I lost in the early rounds, and I played I think 7 of the top 10 women back to back. I really fought my way through the whole tournament, and then in the final against Alison Fisher, the number 1, I was also trailing, and then I came back, and it was just an incredible feeling. I mean, the crowd was jumping up, and they were all so happy about me. I mean, nobody expected me to win there. When I think back, I still get goosebumps. It's great. It was an amazing I'm a fight girl, you know, I always keep on fighting, I never give up. But I think you gotta just focus on your goals and what you're here for. And I'm here for winning, and this is my, this is my main goal. And this is what keeps me going and what keeps my motivation and energy up, and the rest just fades away.
Absolutely one of the most highly motivated athletes, not just pool players, you will find anywhere. Jasmine Ocean leading by 2 racks, 4-2. Race to 7 to get to the finals of the Great Lakes Classic. And breaking well.
Yeah, she is breaking well, Mitch. She's got a shot on the 1. She's trying to figure out the path of the cue ball right now, how she would get back down on the 2 ball. Okay, there's the 1, Mitch, up at the top right, and the 2 ball is down the other end. She's trying to figure out how to get position without getting stuck behind any balls, so I think she's going to probably try to take the longer shot on the 2 just to stay safe. She's going to bring it over to that left rail by putting a little bit of left spin and spin the cue ball over there. Wow, that was very uncharacteristic of Jasmine.
You saw her reaction. Wow.
Look at this. She hit it right into the rail. I mean, and I think, you know, maybe she was just focusing too much on the position, worried a little bit too much about position, and took her focus off the shot. Here's a bunch of balls here that are in the way for this, making the 1 ball into the corner, so she's going to draw it over to the rail and over possibly for position. Hard to do though, so maybe she'll follow it down. We'll see what she feels comfortable doing. Yeah, see, even if she made it, look at the position. She really didn't have a shot in the 2. It was a hard shot just because of those balls that were in the way. Karen looked like you can't touch. You see, she just overcut it and touched that tip of the pocket. You can't do that on these tables, Mitch. They're very, very tough pockets. Jasmine's going to do a 1 rail kick here. And if she makes it, the 2 is right there. So look at this. Let's see. Awesome, awesome shot.
You saw the delicacy of that shot by Jasmine Ocean. Take another look.
That was perfect. Perfect speed to have a shot on the 2 afterwards. Now the angle here is going to run into the cue ball, may run into the 7 or between the 7 and 9.
I think she'll be okay. If you're Karen, you got to be worried right now because Jasmine Ocean, once she sniffs it, is really, really tough. When she won the Carolina Classic event last year on tour, she beat Vivian Villarreal 7-1 in the semifinal, and then she beat Jeanette Lee 7-1 in the final. And so once she gets to this point, or she's proven that once she gets to this point, even though last year she did not follow up with another victory, she can be very tough once you give her the lead. She's got a 2-rack lead now. She can get through the rest of this rack. She would be that much closer.
You're absolutely right, Mitch. And now this to her doesn't seem difficult at all. She's just doing the work that she's normally doing on her practice table. The 6 to the 7, that one she had to think about a little bit. So she's playing this 6 straight in with slight angle so that she can use high English, top English on the cue ball to follow it.
This year, a very different one here at the Great Lakes Classic for Jasmine. Last year, a really early loss, 2nd-round loss to Yuram Cha, or 1st-round loss, sorry, to Yuram Cha, and then lost to Monica Webb, and was gone fairly early. Not a factor, but a different story this year. A very determined and a very focused Jasmine Ocean. You can tell right there how comfortable she is in this position. And the brass monkey supporting the pocket of the Zanzibar table accepts that 9 ball and a 3-rack lead now for Jasmine Ocean. 2 racks away from moving to the finals in Michigan City. Welcome back to Michigan City in the WPBA Great Lakes Classic. Mitch Lawrence and Dawn Hopkins bringing you the action. Time to learn a little something about the game. Here's a great tip from one of the world's great players, Gerda Hofstetter. It's time for our Q-Tech Q tip of the day.
Hi, I want to talk a little bit about cueing action today, talking about good mechanics. What I've noticed with most amateurs is they move their cue too fast and they link the backswing and the forward swing into one motion. And the right way to do is to keep control over your cue stick and have the last backswing be slow, and then have the energy go forward. Here's what I mean. That's a very fast swing and I lost control over my cue ball. The right way to do is to keep relaxed, and especially on the last backswing, make it slow and make sure you keep the stick on line. Staying down afterwards is great. This is my Q-Tech Q tip of the day.
Thanks so much, Gerda, one of the most knowledgeable players on tour. Semifinal action at the Great Lakes Classic presented by the American Pool Players Association. Karen Corr needs to make something happen on her break.
Yeah, Mitch, almost every time we've had the corner ball go, and this time the 5 just hung in the pocket. So that's going to let Jasmine back up at the table. Karen's really disappointed about that. Now, Jasmine doesn't have a shot, so she's probably going to bump the 1 behind the 7 and the 3. And the 5 there was hanging in the pocket. She's just going to leave a safety here.
Could really sense the frustration on Karen's part. Saw her walk back to her chair and sit down. Jasmine was walking and thought, well, wait, maybe I didn't get it.
Well, there's 2 ways. She can come behind the 3 and the 7 to kick at the 1, or she can come straight up to the top rail using right-hand English, high right-hand English, hitting the 1 that way. Oh, she could hit that directly. Okay, I didn't notice that, so that turned out really good.
Great
She's
shot.
left her behind the 9 ball. Great shot.
So often, just such a minuscule amount of space needed for these players to be able to get a piece of the ball. Jasmine would like, obviously, to have snookered her a little more. Let's see what Jasmine can do.
Yeah, I'm surprised she's not jumping over this ball, Mitch. You know, that just really surprised me because that was a very easy jump. And she missed it by quite a bit, actually.
And seemed to shoot it quickly, Dawn. Excuse me.
Yeah, she did. She did. She got up and didn't really look at that. So I wonder if that's why.
All right, an opportunity for Karen now. Down 2-5. Remember, it's a race to 7 here to get to the finals of the Great Lakes Classic. Winner of this match meets the winner of the Kelly Fisher Chao-Ting Pan semifinal matchup.
Just going to use a little low right-hand English. What a beautiful shot that was, Mitch, to come in between the 6 and the 9 for position. She came a little too far, but it was a very controlled shot. Now she's going to use some low left-hand English and spin the 3 into the corner up at the top right, playing the 4 ball in the side. She used all that pocket, Mitch, didn't she?
But down it goes, and she is still at the table. You know, it's such an interesting, these players, an interesting difference in the 2 of them. I think Karen has always been an inner player, very kind of intense inner player, doesn't show you a whole lot. Keeps everything in. Jasmine, when she first came out, a lot more emotional. She's learning how to control her emotions and kind of take things as they come to. See her sitting in her chair just waiting for her chance. It's always interesting to me to see the differences between the players, especially where they come from, how they grew up, when they started playing.
And it's really body English and watching their eyes in between shots tells a lot about what the player is thinking. Well, that one she hit too hard, Mitch. Now she's got an option to go up into this corner up here, But see, the 9 is in the way for position on the 7 if she does that, so she might opt to play it in the other corner. Again, using low left-hand English just to spin that 6 in.
Every shot key.
And over spun it.
And I think she knew it as soon as she hit it. You could tell from behind that body language you were talking about.
Well, that was a hard shot, Mitch. She was very close, but she actually overcut it by quite a bit. Jasmine's going to use high left-hand English. Come 3 rails around. She's got to get some speed. Oh, did she get lucky, Mitch? Because if that 8 wasn't there to bump it, she would have been stuck right behind the 9.
Very confident stroke. Will she be able to take advantage of this angle on the 7? It looks like it from here. Yes. Beautiful work by Jasmine Ocean. And a beautiful setting here at the Blue Chip Casino. 5th year of this great event on the WPBA Classic Tour. 3 of them have been won by Allison Fisher, including last year. 2 years ago, one of our other semifinalists, Jiao Ting Pan, put her name on the Blue Chip Casino trophy. Her first win on the WPBA Classic Tour. And Jasmine Ocean would like to put her name on that trophy as well. Now on the hill, 1 rack away from the finals. You know, often the fans here at the Great Lakes Classic have some questions they'd like to get the answers to. So we decided to ask a pro.
I see many professionals do this. What is the advantage to pushing out?
Back with the answer right after this. When last we saw you, remember we asked a pro this question: what is the advantage of playing a push-out? Luckily for us, we have one of the great pros right here. Dawn, what's the answer?
Well, sometimes after the break, there's some luck involved where you get stuck behind balls, and it's not really your fault. So the advantage to playing the push is now Karen doesn't have to kick at this ball and possibly give up ball in hand. She can push the cue ball to somewhere on the table, and then Jasmine will have the option to take it or give it back to Karen.
So remember, the push-out used only right after the break. Thanks for the question. Thanks for the answer. Here's a look at our Mueller Top 16 this week. Here in Michigan City, a lot of terrific names. We'll feature one of them right now and learn a little more about Tracy Hines, the resident of Florida, our Mueller top finisher.
Last year, I just decided to take the year off so that I could focus on myself and my body and just get in shape and feel better so I could come back stronger. Walking out into the arena, I feel good being me, and I feel like I'm playing great, and I owe that all to working out. I'm hoping that I'm in the top 16 before the end of the year. That would be nice. I think it's going to make me an all-around better player.
The dedication, the work put in by the players. Congratulations to Tracy. Big wins over Laura Smith, Kim Shaw, and Melissa Little this week. And a terrific 9th place finish. Jasmine Ocean at the table trying to close out this semifinal against Karen Kaur. And a ball on the break for Jasmine.
Yeah, she did drop a ball on the break. She's got the 1 here and the side possibly. The tough thing is going to be to follow it down and get position on that 2. Because the 9 and the 5 are down there, and she doesn't want to get stuck behind those balls, so she's going to have to stroke this pretty good and get to, close to this back rail here. She get by that ball. She's got a few balls to get through. Oh, wow, that was a great shot, Mitch. Really nice.
Jasmine this week, of our 4 semifinalists, Ranked number 2 in breaking and running at almost 14.5% of the time, and she would love nothing more than to take that out on Karen and put an end to this match.
Well, she's got a nice opportunity here, Mitch. She can roll the cue ball up a little bit. The 3 is right there in front of the pocket. Now she's, you know, it's a long shot, but like I said, it's right in front of the pocket. So the key here is not to bump into this 8, to, you know, to give yourself an opportunity to get back down the table for that 5 ball. Oh. See, that's what I was hoping she wouldn't do, because if she didn't bump the 8, she would have had a straight shot for the 5. Now she's got a tough shot. She's going to have to play it in one of these 2 pockets. And this is just where you're comfortable. Players have different comfort levels on this type of a shot. And position is what she's thinking about now, which way would be best for position. But right now, I'm focusing on which pocket is easier for me to make the ball, because I want to stay at the table. I guess that wasn't the easier pocket for her, but she was definitely trying to get position on the 6. Tough shot, Mitch. She just undercuts it a little bit.
And you know, you carry over that feeling from the shot before where she didn't get the kind of shape she wanted on that play. Karen rattles that 5 there. A lot going on here in the 9th rack of this semifinal matchup. Karen Corr trying to stay alive. Jasmine trying to get to the finals by winning this game.
There's a big shot here, Mitch. She's got to draw that cue ball back for the 7. Beautifully played. Really nice stroke. You see how long she stayed down on the shot? It's important for players to stay down until the ball actually falls into the pocket. Too many players on the amateur level will try to look at where that ball's going and jump up on your shot. You have to focus on staying down, just like she did there.
I have always been impressed with Karen Corr's ability to stay focused. Talk about staying down on shots. Fantastic mechanics. Snooker background, as we all know, great record in world snooker, and brought it over here to the United States. Has been one of the true stars on the WPBA Classic Tour since that point. Finished 3rd here last year, losing to eventual winner Allison Fisher in the semifinals 7-4. Does not want to make a habit of losing in the semifinals, so this 9 very important to Karen. Beautiful work. Perfectly done. Still alive is Karen Corr. 3 racks away, Jasmine Ocean on the hill.
This presentation of the WPBA Great Lakes Classic is brought to you by Brunswick Billiards. Since 1845, the standard of superior craftsmanship preferred by experts around the world. By the American Pool Players Association, the world's largest pool league. And by Q-Tech Cues, serious cues for serious players, and choice of the world's most dominant player.
Back here at the beautiful Blue Chip Hotel and Casino in Michigan City. Semi-final action at the WPBA Great Lakes Classic presented by the American Pool Players Association. Karen Corr has run out of room and will need 4 racks in a row against Jasmine Ocean to move to the final.
Oh, Mitch.
And that is not the way to do it. Wow.
That's the 2nd time that she's drawn the cue ball into the side pocket. She drew it right into the side, and that's in the beginning of the match. That's exactly what she did before. So that is an error on her part. She knows it.
Scratched in the 4th rack on the break, and now here in the 10th rack.
Yeah, there's the 2. The 6 is there. I don't know if the 2 slides by the 6 into the pocket. It may, so we'll see what happens here. But I know Karen has to be extremely disappointed to feel like she's on a comeback and then all of a sudden it could be cut off, to think now it might be the end of the match.
And sometimes, you know, that cue ball will get kicked in. There's nothing you can do about it. But that time, obviously, that was an unforced error. And now can Jasmine take advantage?
Wow, what a beautiful shot, Mitch. I guess the 2 did not go by the 6, so she opted to play the 2 up in the other corner. Great position play.
We mentioned earlier in this match, these players this week are 4 semifinalists coming from Asia, and a few weeks over there playing not only against women, but in the case of Jasmine and a couple other players, Kelly Fisher, playing against the men. And all of it is something that Jasmine has worked for years. She and her coach, Michael Newman, have tried to give her every opportunity to play against the best players, period, in the world, male and female. There is nothing that this woman fears, no player that she fears, even when it's Karen Corr. And Dawn, we're watching her move around this table and get position now, and you and I have talked along the way about the kind of shape that Jasmine is in, both mentally and physically, and the way she and her coach Michael Newman work on just this particular aspect of the game, to be in a position to take advantage of adjustments.
Right, she just treats this just like any top athlete in any other sport would, which is what you're supposed to do. I really like her attitude in that area. And I think Karen has been rattled by Jasmine in this match. I could see that with that 9-ball that she missed almost missed in the beginning. Here Jasmine comes around 3 rails for the 6. I mean, Jasmine is a very confident person right now, and I think she may win this tournament.
And we mentioned earlier that the 4 scratches on the break that Karen has had, all coming against Jasmine Ocean. 2 in an early loss in the double elimination portion of the tournament. But this 9 to go into the finals for Jasmine Ocean. And there it is, and a little bit of a fist pump. And that is a happy Austrian right there, and an appreciative crowd, as they should be. You can tell how she looks. We're going to give our super shot of the match, brought to you by the APA, though, to Karen Corr. This beautiful massé, pocketing the 3, part of the arsenal that is normally in Karen Corr's quiver, but today not to be. Let's go down to Dawn and a word with Jasmine.
Jasmine, I was watching your match last night with Ga Young Kim, and it looked like you were playing pretty tight. You were missing a lot of balls, but today I didn't see any of that. So what is the difference between last night's match and today?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think during the night I slept well for the first time here. The jet lag is not so bad from China, so I felt really great. I felt energized, and I was so looking forward to play here in the semifinal, and I think I prepared really well, and I'm glad I could pull it off like that.
Well, that's great, and congratulations, and we'll see you in the finals.
Thank you.
A very, very confident Jasmine Ocean, ready for the finals. She'll meet one of these 2 great players, Kelly Fisher and Xiao Ting Pan, will get it on in semifinal number 2, down to 3 here in Michigan City. We'd like to thank everybody at the Blue Chip Casino and Hotel and all the volunteers from the American Pool Players Association. This semifinal, all Jasmine Ocean. For Dawn Hopkins, I'm Mitch Lawrence. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. So long from Indiana.